Her voice sliced through the morning stillness, deceptively calm as she stirred her coffee with deliberate grace. Her tone as composed as a rehearsed monologue. "Your sister's coming tomorrow," she said, not looking at me. "She's pregnant and just being around you makes her nauseous. You'll pack your things and stay at your mother's while she visits." I watched her for a moment, the corners of my mouth curling into a slow, measured smile. "I'll go," I said quietly, my voice steady, controlled. A flicker crossed her face, a crack in her carefully constructed confidence. She wasn't expecting agreement. She wasn't expecting me to stay calm, but she had no idea what was coming. "Not the way you think," I added. Her brows drew together, just slightly. Doubt began to creep in, like a chill under the door of a warm room. She rose from her chair, dismissive, ready to step over my compliance as if it were victory. But when she woke the next morning, the house was too quiet and everything she knew had shifted. 12 years earlier, it was also different. I had nothing, just rough hands, a back used to breaking under labor, and dreams far too ambitious for the zeros in my bank account. She was a force, laughing like wind chimes, dazzling in a way that seemed impossible to touch. But she saw me, or so I believed. She used to say she loved my attentiveness. How I remembered her coffee order after one date. How gently my fingers brushed her wrist before I dared to take her hand. She spun fantasies of what we could be, and I worked myself into exhaustion trying to build them. She wanted a home, so I worked double shifts, burning through my 20s to buy her one. She wanted a business, so I cashed out my savings and helped her build it. I thought we were building something together. I was wrong. The change came quietly, no fights, no slammed doors, just an absence that weighed more than shouting ever could. Her gaze stopped lingering. Her smile no longer reached her eyes. The silence between us became something alive. Then came the cologne. It clung to her coat, earthy, bold, unfamiliar. Not mine. I told myself stories. Maybe a client brushed against her, maybe a cab ride. But her phone, once left open on the counter, now remained locked, face down, guarded. One evening, she came home in heels I'd never seen, cheeks flushed, breath shallow, lipstick smudged not from drinks, but from someone's hands. That night, I lay next to her as she slept peacefully, her phone buzzing once on the nightstand. I didn't check it. I didn't have to. Instead, I got methodical. I called in sick one day, but left as if heading to work. I followed her. She met him at a quiet cafe on 7th. At first, they sat apart, but then his hand slid under the table to rest on her thigh. She didn't flinch. She laughed the way she used to laugh with me. From my booth in the corner, I took photos while sipping coffee. She never saw me. That night, while she was out with her friends, I installed monitoring software on her laptop. Every keystroke, every email, every password. I watched everything. She had a separate bank account. She drained nearly $50,000. From our joint savings, plane tickets were booked, not for two, just for her. And the business, the one she built with my money, her lover was listed as a silent partner. I didn't lose my temper. I prepared. I met with a lawyer, sharp, unflinching, brilliant. I handed her a file thick with screenshots, emails, bank records, surveillance, photos. "You've done your homework," she said, flipping through the pages, the faintest smile tugging at her lips. "I'm not finished," I replied. We moved quietly. I transferred ownership of the house back to my name. It had always been mine. Before the refinance, I rerouted our remaining funds into protected accounts. I made calls, including one to her sister. We met for lunch. I expressed concern about who my wife was spending time with gently. Respectfully, her sister, hormonal and protective, took the bait. Seeds of doubt were planted. And then, the final act. Last night, she tossed her final insult like confetti. "Go stay at your mother's." She thought she was dismissing me. What she didn't know was I was already gone when she awoke. The jewelry she'd bought with my money was gone. The safe was empty, her laptop missing. The guest room where I kept mementos, my father's watch, our wedding album, was bare. I'd taken everything that mattered. On the kitchen counter, I left her an envelope. Inside, divorce papers delivered by courier at 9 a.m. and a USB drive. Its contents were damning. Photos of her affair, bank transfers, Audio of her whispering one night, thinking I was asleep. He'll never find out. I found out at 9:15. I was at my lawyer's office, signing the final papers. By noon, the charges were filed: fraud, embezzlement, tax evasion. Her lover's accounts were frozen. The IRS was given everything. At 2:00 p.m., her sister called me, weeping. She said you didn't care, that you were cruel. No. I said softly. She lied to both of us. I don't know where she is tonight. Crying, screaming, maybe calling him, but he won't answer. His accounts are frozen, his name blacklisted, the ticket she booked canceled, the points used by me for a quiet mountain cabin. The house, now mine again, is silent and still. I sit in the dim light with a glass of whiskey, breathing in the peace I built for myself. Betrayal cuts deep, but revenge, true revenge, isn't loud. It's cold, precise, thoughtful. It doesn't shout. It simply ends things in silence, leaving ruin in its place. Tomorrow, her sister will still be pregnant, still queasy, not from morning sickness but from seeing how everything fell apart because of the lies they covered. And me, I'm already gone, but not the way she imagined. I didn't walk away broken. I walked away free.